This is a 2007 Lincoln Navigator, and I'm going to replace the HIDs. I'm going to show the procedure of how to take the bulb out.
Pause it.
Now you want to make sure you have all your tools handy. You're going to need a 30-second one of these. All right, now what you want to do is unscrew this right here, and then you have to be careful when you pull the actual light out. You might want to put something here in between so you don't scratch the bumper. I'll show you how to do it in a second. I removed the screws already, these bolts, and since it's the first time, if you're going to remove this head unit for the first time, you have to put a little bit of effort into it for it to come out. So you have to pull it forward. You have to lift it up from here first, go like this. If it doesn't drop, it's because it's secured back here. That only happens the first few times. Then that piece down there becomes detached. So once it's down here, what you want to do is pull forward, and you got to put a little bit of effort, lift it up at the same time. You're going to grab it from here and here, go like this. You got to put a little bit of effort into it. There you go. Now what I like to do is that I put a rag or something right in between here so I don't scratch the bumper, and I pressed it down, and I proceed to take all the lights out, all the connections. Simple. It's just twist. This right here is the connection for the HID, so you have to push this pin in and pull back. All right, now we have the head unit out, and this is where the HID bulb is. So you just have to pull this, and that's where your bulb is in here. Okay, now for you to access the bulb over here, you want to make sure you have the right tool. This is a T9 Torx screw, and you want to make sure you have something that is skinny like this, so it could fit in there. If it's magnetized, it's even better, because if you drop those screws in there, you're going to have a hard time getting them out. And you also want to make sure you have the original OSRAM bulbs for the Lincoln. I've tried some imitations, they do not work. There's a website I'm going to put at the description bar where you could get the original ones, and they're not that expensive compared to what the dealer charges. Okay, and make sure it's a D3S 35 watt bulb, OSRAM. All right, so what you want to do is you insert the Torx screw right here. You have to screw one right here and one all the way over here, which is tough to get to. So what you want to do is come over here and you screw it like this. Mine is a little easier because I've done it before. You might have to put a little bit of effort into it, just not too much. You don't want to break anything. Make sure when you pull it out, you're also holding the screw like this, and you don't want to lose those screws. So what I do is that I use the same cup that goes here in the back, and I put the screw right there. That way I know I won't misplace it. Then for the bottom one, it's even harder because it's a tighter space. So you want to make sure you do the same thing and grab it with your finger before you actually pull it out. Pull it out, sorry. So grab it like this. That's what she said. Oh no, I'm gonna drop it. Come on. Okay, got it. All right, so now what you want to make sure is that you're gentle doing this, because the cable that's inside here is really short, and you don't want to damage the bulb. Let's say when you're putting it in or taking it out, so you want to, like, at the same time you're pulling it out, twist it a bit so you get more slack from that cable. So I'm twisting it this way until it gets exposed over here, and I continue, and here is the bulb. You want to make sure you don't touch it with your hands, so then you unplug it like this. There it is. Now you see this part over here, this bracket. It's important that you don't lose this bracket, because this is what holds the bulb in place. Mine is loose already because I've done it a couple of times. You might have to pry this open down here, or push them a little bit so you could release this from the bulb. All right, and you want to make sure the bulb you get has that green if you want to go with the original one. Okay. All right, so this is the bulb that I ordered, and as you can see, it's a Osram D3S 35 watt, made in Germany. And once again, you want to make sure you don't touch the actual bulb with your hands. Try to avoid doing that. Okay, so as you can see, it has the green over here, so it's really close to the original. So what you want to do is put the bracket on it, and the bracket goes, just in case you forget, this is the connector, the bracket goes in this way. Okay, if it feels too loose, you can always try to work it. That's what she said, right? Try to work it.
Workout for that.
So put it in. That's what she said also. But all right, so enough jokes. So what you want to do here is, as you go in, you have to be careful not to break the bulb as you're putting it in. So what I like to do, once again, this is my way of doing it, is that I do it out here. And then when you put it in, if you see, I don't know if you could focus on that, there's a little cable here for your igniter. You want to make sure that you don't damage that wire, so push it back. And then we're going to put this in. Same way you took it out, you have to twist it a bit and make sure it goes in the hole. not jokes this time, right? So, all right, make sure you align it so you can put your screws in. This point you can let it go because it's kind of like in place, and then we're going to proceed to put the screws in. So once again, you want to make sure you put it in, holding it, and once it's in place, you proceed to making it tight. Okay, you don't want to go too tight on. I'll tie in both at the same time and secure it. So then the bottom one here is usually a problem because it's tight. So you have to, like, even if you have to change the orientation of the light, the head unit this way, make it a little bit easier. I mean, you have to be able to see what you're doing. And you try to get in there. That was actually funny. So here we go, let's try this again. Maybe I should switch hands, right? No, let me switch hands. I've done it before. Yeah, this is a little tricky. All right, so we got it in position. Took a little 2 tries, you know. Sometimes it slips, you know. So you gotta try to position it in again and try again. So now we put it tight. And that should be it. Now you put a cup back on it. It's very important because you don't want any water getting in there. So make sure it's tight and secure. Now to put it back, you could keep rolling. To put it back, the same procedure. You want to lay something here so when you drop the unit, you don't damage the bumper. Now you don't have to do this, but it's just what I like to do. So I'm gonna place it here and make all my connections. Can you come this way so you can get all the connections that I'm gonna put on again back in the unit. Okay, this one is for the HID, and these are the other lights. Okay. There we go. Now got it. Now we're talking. All right. So now that all your connections are good, you can go ahead and test the light if you want. Could you please turn on the light? You can see Seems to be working perfectly. Alright, so that's it for the tutorial. Try to make it short and to the point. Thanks for watching.